Hello, Internet. This is RJ Navarro, aka Don't Read This Straight, and today I'm going to be playing the story of a man named Stanley. The Stanley Parable, Ultra Deluxe. This is a game I've been really excited for about 3 years, I think. Um, did my computer just crash? I sincerely hope not. Uh, yep, alright, cool. My controller still works. Alright, so I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see the game, but I am so excited to play. Please choose a screen and subtitle language. English. Confirm. Have I played the Stanley Parable before? Yes, I have. Until the computer is barely visible. I would not like to do that. I'm gonna set it to like this. That's good enough for me. Enter the current time? Oh, geez. Accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. Okay. This is already very different from the beginning of the original Stanley Parable, both the mod and the game. This is more like the game I know. I never played the original mod. All right, 72. We're gonna set it back to 72. This was set to 5. I'm fine with that, yeah. Subtitle background opacity, it's 80, so we're gonna set that to 80. The reason why I'm scrolling it is because I went through the achievement and I saw that there was an achievement for setting the sliders to every possible value. So I'm just gonna see if I can get that. uh, 80, show reticle. Yeah, I think there was a dot in the original. And besides, I need to hit the box so I can see the, what was it set to, like 40 or something? Don't want a transition label. No. No. I do not want auto walk. I will walk myself. Okay, main volume.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
That sure is. Haha, settings world champion. That's me. Yep, alright. There's a jump key. Space, okay. Begin the game. Speak to me, sweet narrator. Tell me your magic words. Your special phrase. The end is never the end is never the end is the loading. Never the end is never.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
He looks a little slimmer than I remember.
This is what employee 427 did every day, every month, of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-ending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alright. Making sure. Yep. Okay. And here we are. I got a little dot in the center of my screen. I'm not sure if that was in the original or not. You know, just in case, I think I will remove the dot. Did I stream this before? I think there was a dot, but I'm not positive anymore. Escape pod room.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Crouch. I got the you can't jump achievement. Oh, shame. I could just click on door 430 5 times for an achievement.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Where's door number 417? Oh, here we go. 8,
Oh,
9.
great.
Okay.
Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Now 437 is this way. I did see 437.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
I'm guessing 415 is farther this way.
Now, back to door number 437.
This is fast. The original Stanley Parable, I think, was way stiffer than this.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
I'm glad I saw this
All right,
earlier.
Back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
I don't think the
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
is this 419? Okay, I remember doing this. It was kind of weird, kind of buggy, like kind of.
Yes!
Yeah!
This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Alright, 416.
We've almost got it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
Dude, this is some great. Like, I can feel the excitement, and it's like.
Finish it up, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, we did it.
Shine, get.
Wow, that felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Good point. I'm just a little bit sad. In the original Stanley Parable, there was a setting. It was achievements. That was the setting, and then you clicked on it, a fake achievement would pop up. That was funny. It doesn't appear to be in this menu. I didn't see it the first time I went through setting. Yes! Yes!
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Is there a zoom button? No? Okay.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Does this clock, like, actually work?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth
Wait,
it.
paintings? Where? Ooh, paintings! Were these in the original? I don't remember.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy
Does this thing work?
and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Ooh, cool reflection. Can't see Stanley in it, though.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dice, but at last he'd had enough
Ah,
of the amazing room.
damn
and
it.
took the first open door on his left to get back to business. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No. I gotta save that one.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh, what? Help, I'm posted. I think some of these are new. Less air. Tips for not getting fired. Don't get fired. Alright, it seems that we've ran out of words now. Slides, I mean. Only one of them seemed new. The one or the or well, maybe two. Yo, it's the broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow.
Just an empty broom closet.
No reason to still be here.
I love the way that this guy talks. He's like one of my favorite announcer guys in a video game. Narrator guy, I guess.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Fuck all. With those pliers. I really wish there was a jump button.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Yeah, broom closet. Hell yeah. Come on, come on, come on.
You do realize there's no choice.
Talk about the broom closet ending.
If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Come on, I love the broom closet ending, man. The broom closet ending's my favorite.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh,
did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite."
I hope your friends find this concerning.
Oh my gosh, the way the subtitles repeat, there's like a fucking XD in there.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really probably in a because of the connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Oh my god, I forgot
Well, I've come
how
to a very definite
ridiculous this
conclusion about
was.
what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to
I
leave it
haven't
because
played
there's
this in
nothing here,
years. Oh
when
my
a physical
god.
malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care
No
of
alerting no one here.
before
I
it
got
begins to
headphones on.
decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Ah, second player, it's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
I know there's a way that I knew that there was some way to get like a console to show up for console
Coming to a
commands.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
Damn.
office.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I don't want the crazy ending yet. Executive bathroom. I don't remember this, but maybe I just never checked this out. Now this is where you would get the escape pod ending. You'd walk up here and real quickly you just kind of freak the game out by turning around.
Stepping into his
Damn it.
manager's office,
All right.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I think it was a different code before.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
This is scary as hell. It's dark as hell too. So we're on our way to do the freedom ending, I think.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself. to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
What the I don't remember this.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
This looks a little different than how I remember it.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need the museum ending right now. I'm good. I'll pass. It looks a little different than I remember, though.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
I can... Alright, cool. Can I save the game? Is that an option here?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? More content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done. Good job. You did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job. You made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful.
I actually...
It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams.
I couldn't actually jump down here in the original. I never got it to work. So I was trying to get like an actual ending first, but okay, I guess not. I guess I'm gonna go throw myself out the window ending then.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You know what? Not. Oh, shit. That's new.
No matter how hard Stanley looked,
Okay.
he
Nope.
couldn't
Nope,
find
I'm
a
good.
trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a
Yeah,
single
let's,
person here either.
we're just gonna, like,
Feeling a
speedrun
wave
this.
of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Come on.
Stepping...
Oh, shit. I gotta tap in. Crap. Okay, so I guess I... It's really strange what happens in this ending. People, I think in the original game, people thought it was kind of like a bug. Like, especially the ending. Apparently, they like, when they opened up the console or whatever it called for something that just didn't exist. I don't know, but well, let's see. This is a pretty creepy moment. Loads. An entirely new environment. You are now leaving. Seven, 5, 6. I just got a few more floors left. So I bet there's gonna be more Easter egg endings like that. Or doing weird bugs and glitches will allow me to do stupid stuff, like get more endings and whatnot, as well as have all the original endings from the game in it. So I'm guessing this is just it's gonna be exactly the same. I'm guessing. Maybe there'd be a new path if I moved farther, if I moved down instead of up, or if I went down to the bottom panic crazed ending instead of this way, but we're just gonna launch pod, escape bay. Escape. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Okay.
What could
Cool.
it mean? Stanley decided to
So
go
that
to the
ending
meeting
seems
room.
to be the
Perhaps
same.
he
I
had
wish there was
simply
like
missed a memo.
a checklist where I could see all the endings I've gotten,
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
or
he
like
entered
all
the
the
door on
events
his
I've had.
left.
I'm sure there's like a mod that implements a checklist or something, but I don't want to deal with that
Yet there was not a
right
single
now.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no! Oh no! Nothing here. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
I think the next
Coming to
run
a
through the
staircase,
door is going to be
Stanley
barricaded
walked
closed, I
upstairs to
believe.
his boss's office.
At least that's what happened in the original game.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad
Come on!
guarded a terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845.
God damn it.
Statistically, nearly impossible to, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct
2845, 2845, 2845, 2845.
Easing, he stepped into the newly opened passageway.
In the original game, you used to be able to have like save slots, I remember, I think. You could just save whenever you wanted to, and then you could load from that save, I think.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Come on, Stanley's one of them.
Eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
There he is, there's Stanley. And then one of them have been fired, I think. One of them's like marked terminated. Yeah, there it is.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yep.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working.
I might
all of it
Google
monitored
some
and
of these
commanded from
new
this
added
very place.
endings.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
What's that say over there? Is there like a zoom button? No, but removing field of view. It's kind of like a zoom. Alright, let's re-add that field of view. 72. There we go. So this is like the plot ending, you know, this is the freedom ending. This is for like following the story the narrator wants to tell. And now, of course, we get to go off the
And a
rails.
rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine.
Looks a little different than I remember.
Himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Oh, this is playable? Oh, this is definitely different than how I remember it.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Beat the game. Achievement unlocked.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
simply missed the memo.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley.
I'm gonna go get the ending where Stanley goes jumps off a
stop by the employee lounge first, just to
building.
admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Do not lie. If you're lying right now, stop. Oh, well, there's the serious room table.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Come on, I know there was a way that in the past where you could jump out of the window. Damn it. Ah!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley.
Everyone thinks you are powerful. There we go.
All of his co-workers were
Gone. What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of
Alright,
his co-workers.
I'm doing it.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
I believe it just loops forever. Yeah, alright. Begin the game again. We're gonna do that again. We're gonna hit the no option.
All of his co-workers were
and I'm pretty sure he just
What
dips.
could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Come on.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he
Doink.
couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Alright.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
I remember now.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No, this couldn't go anywhere except badly.
Damn it.
The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing
Phone's
will break
ringing.
me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
There it is.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Alright. There were like 15 endings in the original game or something. I don't know how many I've just done. Not too many. I didn't. Oh, I got one. One monitor.
When Stanley came to a set of
two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left. Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message. But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
I could. Or I could. I'll do it.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I'll do it just so I can get the
either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm gonna go get the bad ending. 4, 5, 2.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
I don't remember this in the original game.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward. into the opened passageway.
Alright, we're gonna do the bad ending. Loading, 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 loading.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Mind Control Facility.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Fuck. Alright, I gotta restart now. There's like an Easter egg in there, I think. If I go like the second one and stand on that thing, like I gotta climb across the railing.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Sure did.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Stanley is fast.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad, Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
I definitely don't remember that in the original game. Speedrunning techniques.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
That was scary.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Oh, okay, come on. Nope, okay. Well, alright, well, I'm not doing that again. We're just gonna go get the bad ending.
All of his
Co-workers gone. What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
lights out in that room. That's different. Oh, this is a different room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his coming to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
There's an achievement for beating the game real fast, but I don't care right now.
Here's the door, just go.
He's so upset. I don't even get to do the keypad.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
There's nothing here, no glitchy geometry, nothing.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control?
Darned it.
Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
Happy or sad or content.
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery wouldn't... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself? Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes.
Shit.
Now, this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. Your you're going to die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Okay.
Other times, I let the office
One,
sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
3.
I have to say this, though. This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
2.
You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
4.
These
5.
are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh, dear me. What's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you.
2.
Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These
2.
numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley?
5.
That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
That's new. Alright. Sorry, I had a thing.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I bet that there's
Stanley
some way to
decided go the
disable that
meeting
now.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Oh. Uh, I gotta go get some. Alright, I'm back. New content,
Hello,
huh?
and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
This is
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
I bet that little
The
sticker.
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
This is weird.
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Story of a man named Stanley.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Okay, but the elevator's not.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
This is scary. There was a trigger warning or
Initial
whatever.
impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Mostly tedious. It's as if them. Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
A temporary jump button. That's really weird. This feels so awkward. And they said that they removed the jump button. They added it. That's new content. Sure. Let's see. Can I?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I'm not even jumping. I ran out of jumps. This is so weird. Oh, it's another elevator.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there.
Do that, please.
I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the
Do
box.
that, come on.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good.
Is it like a jump
I
square?
knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Well, this is more familiar. This is sort of. They're sort of similar. That looked weird. I can't interact with the door, which is a thing I can normally do. I can normally close doors behind me. It's weird that I can't.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says,
Test achievement, please ignore.
What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Oh no!
What do you say, friend?
This is gonna be the new content, isn't it? Like for reals this time. It's a picture frame of the old office.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Or I could... Alright, so this is the way...
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a... Oh, never mind. You're not a dog.
This is new content. I'm so excited! Oh my gosh. Am I stuck on a loading screen? Please don't tell me I'm stuck on a loading screen. I don't want to be stuck on a loading screen.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
This is a little history lesson. A picnic basket, a telephone. What do we got in here?
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
The Last of Us. That's right. The Last of Us won all the awards in the Stanley Parable. The Last of Us and like Papers, Please. They won all the rewards, and the Stanley Parable was just like nominated for all of them. The original remake. Is this Mozilla Firefox? Is this the screenshot of like Mozilla Firefox on like Windows 7? Why is there a $1 bill on here? demo. Don't play for 5 years. These are real achievements. I might get some of these someday, but I don't think I will, because I don't have the game installed anymore. Yeah, you got nominated for all these. That's the Maria ending, I think. Where Stanley goes crazy. Is a hamster? I'm guessing that was a real hamster that actually was named Little Stanley and actually died. These games tend to do that kind of thing.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
This is crazy. That's the portal room. That's the Minecraft area. Let's begin again. I could... Top 10 memories. Is this like the software they used to make the game? Like, I don't know what that car is all about. There was some... I remember seeing this online. I think it was like the only physical edition the game ever had. The original PC game. I think you got through Humble Bundle or something. I don't actually remember. I wasn't there for it. I got to this
Here's
game
another
way
moving
late.
passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Oh, the Raphael Parable! I remember seeing this trailer. Pairing snake oil routine. How do I... Come on, there's got to be a way to get over there. The serious room? Come on. There's gotta be a way over there. There's gotta be. Come on. I guess not. It's just we get to see it from a distance, the serious room.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
What if we just do?
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Are these gonna be all the trash reviews? Is this only gonna be the... No.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue
This
proving to be
person
more
got
irritating than entertaining.
immortalized in their in a great
Trying to
game.
be
Oh,
funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
it's crazy. This is cool. This is some new content right here. Oh yeah. I wish I got to keep the jump button though. I'd love being able to jump on shit I wasn't supposed to. Like break the game in unnatural ways. That's a good review, but you don't get to see what it says.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
This stuff is great. This feels almost like a new museum type ending. Okay, this is... I cannot go back up from here.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years. Until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth,
It
until
loops.
inevitably we
No.
all until the end of time, at which time everything all at
Alright,
once.
fine.
So now you see, blah 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 blah.
I
We've eaten
love
too much,
listening
it
to
can't be
this
just
guy.
yet. No, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture.
Alright, fine, let's skip for him.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already
It
made,
wants me to skip
you bring
again.
that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. Ah. See, now you've got me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations.
So,
all right,
this is the
here we go.
point where
Treatise, manifesto, treatise, manifesto, treatise, manifesto, treatise, manifesto, treatise, manifesto, treatise.
this is basically the point. It lets you wait, hear as much dialogue as you can, and it gives you a looping section so you can skip again.
Manifesto, treatise, manifesto, treatise. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
You just stopped. It wants me to skip again.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait. How do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this
Yeah,
room?
it
I feel quite
closed.
certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window, or
He's
something
gonna
like
ramble
that. Do you
about
see
this for a
window anywhere?
while.
A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away
I'm
for
trying.
just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
Okay, so knowing the game, it is very likely, it is frustratingly likely that there are two endings here. Or not two endings, two paths here. One where I wait here for an exorbitant amount of time and he comes back and we move on with the game. And another one where I press the skip button and then whatever happens happens. Because in the original, and I'm assuming in the non-Ultra Deluxe content version of this game, you can, there's like the stupid button ending with the baby game, where there's like a cardboard cutout of a baby, and there's a button, and the button resets the baby's position, and if you don't press the button, then the baby just burns immediately. Terrible. And after you play for a while, I think it adds like a kitten and a puppy to the mix, and they both have like their own separate buttons, and you gotta like, press all three, and you gotta like manage it, and you have to do that for like 6 hours to get the ending. Or you can simply let it burn and move on with the game that way.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship.
You damn right.
You'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, I know you too well. You'll be leaving. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the... Oh,
He's
Stanley,
looping.
You're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps. Yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a
I'm just waiting
worker.
for him to
I
stop
feel as
talking
though
so I
I
can press the
occupy
button again.
space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means to me.
Of course
I'm
I
so clear
can.
about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain
But your
about this
words are
as
so
I've ever felt
interesting
about
to me,
anything at all.
and yet
I feel
I
renewed.
really want to
I
know
feel
what happens
restored, and
next.
already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it. To think of returning to such coldness.
All right.
Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment.
No.
Let us anticipate it.
We will
Let
not.
us welcome it.
We will not
Let
sit in
us not run
silence.
from it. Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment. And I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to
This plant
manifest a
died.
particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible. The spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well.
Nah.
Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
Nah. Oh, he's dead. Oh, that's interesting. This clock doesn't work. There's humming coming from the button. clock's on the floor now, which is different. I don't remember there being a smoke alarm. Clock still doesn't work.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed. They
Oh, he's not
gnashed their
dead.
teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulge
I'm pretty sure my
in
computer
every
lags a
fleeting
little
whim
bit
for
each
no
time he loads
reason
in a new
other than
voice
to do
line.
so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time.
You don't
They are
sound very
mired in
calm.
fear and insecurity, and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amuse them endlessly from start to finish. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes?
I started looping. Any door yet? Any signs of a door? Spin the clock. Let's try to click on that. Nope. Okay.
The end is never 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 the end is
I'm really bothered that the
end is never the end is never the end is never the end
subtitle doesn't loop.
is never the
Any door yet? Oh, we've had the narrator trapped for millions of years or whatever. Any sign of a door? No, but we've got new geometry. Maybe I can climb up on this. Get to a... Maybe I can sneak out through the attic. Oh, but there's no jump circle. Can't go through the attic. Come on. Let me just... Come on. Alright, fine. Let's go hit the skip button. See what he's got to say this time. Oh, there's a light. Okay, that's new. Still nothing. So we're gonna hit that button again. Oh, there's overgrown. Eventually, I'm guessing something will appear and I'll be able to crawl out. The narrator might even come back at that point. Oh. No, this is bad. This is bad. The room is tilted. Escape. Free. I can't hit the skip button no more. This is the only way I can go. Wow, he really let the memory zone go, huh? Where's the facility? Nowhere, I guess. I just gotta wander now for hours. Unless that's the end. Is that the end? Wow, that was a bummer ending. One-time thing?
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time. Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
This again? I just did this. New content. Oh, okay. I wish I didn't open the door all the way the first time. I feel like there could have been secrets behind there, maybe.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy.
Help,
So
help,
forget this
help,
ultra
help,
deluxe
help, help,
nonsense.
help.
I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the
No
first
way.
time ever the Stanley Parable
Nah.
2.
Bullshit. The end is never the end again!
You see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many
They're not
different
going to
directions.
do it again,
This
though.
is what fans have truly been asking for.
But it's not. Taste the sequel. Okay, I like that, the adventure line.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
I thought we were gonna be able to play like the Half-Life mod inside this. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Old and busted. New content. New hotness. Boring section of the chart. Cool section of the chart. They're back. 2 doors. Oh, I hate that. I love it. More the Stanley Parable. Better the Stanley Parable. Win-win. Sequential mindshare. Order. Color it. Leverage. Listing value. 1 to 2. New mug. New bug. There's the phone again. I think that one, the second one, would be the best one, actually. See the laptop plugged in.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Oh, this is hilarious. I like this one. Prequel to the Stanley Parable. Who is the sequel to the Stanley Parable? Is the prequel to the Stanley Parable 2 is the sequel to the Stanley Parable. Is the prequel to the Stanley Parable 2 is the prequel. Oh, that's cool. That's nice. I'm gonna do one of the old endings again before I do the next new ending, if there even is a next new ending. Is there a broom closet too? The broom closet ending is my favorite.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Please no screenshots. Screenshot. Red is the new orange. Oh, because orange was one of the primary colors in the game. New updated ray traced, more of the same, but in a good way. Sequel to the New features, new content, new ideas. Button that says the jump circle, infinite hole. The reassurance bucket. That feels like a trap. Merch. The end is never the end again. I need to scan this QR code. I'm gonna use my cell phone for that. I need to see where this takes me. Come on, where's this taking me? StanleyParable2.com. Alright, let's see what this button is. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2,
Ah,
I
shit.
asked myself, what do players really want? And of
I fell
course,
for this.
the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
Please,
Isn't that
please
wonderful?
please say Stanley.
Sorry, I should have
Ah.
clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want... Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay
I'm
Jim,
so
then
sorry.
you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine... Jim. All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
I'm so sorry. I'll go do just that. I was actually pretty damn excited for the dumb
Maybe
button.
I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
Epilogue. How? Where? Where am I?
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Come on. Please pull me. This is a reused environment. I think this is from the Lost the Plot ending or whatever.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Oh, I hate this.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
What? Wait, is there... No, he's got to be fucking with me. There's no way there's
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Alright. Let's see the fucking jump circle. Why the hell not? Jump circle is this way. Okay. Fuck it. You know what? We're gonna go see the infinite hole first. Here we go. Here's the jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well.
I still don't have any...
Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Sorry. Show me the infinite hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I didn't actually want to do that.
Isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you
that was cool.
My ideas for the sequel.
That was cool. There was a button prompt. I got to press it. This is Stanley Parable. Hell yeah. I don't want to do all that again.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Okay.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on. A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms.
It's
And
a
to be
joke
honest,
about like the
it's a
companion
much
cube,
more
I think.
convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact,
This
can I
bucket
say that
is
I do believe the
so
bucket
very
lends you an air
weird
of charisma
to
as
hold.
well. I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
It's like so
benefits of
much
the
more
bucket seem to go
detailed
on
than
and
like
on,
the
don't
rest of the
they?
environment.
All
Oh,
this
this is
and more
so
will reach
uncomfortable.
you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I get to keep the bucket!
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award
The
if it isn't
button that
already.
says Jim.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Where the hell am I going? Settings World Championship? Hell yeah! Let's go see the Settings World Championship.
Aha! I can see you've gotten the Settings World Champion achievement. Well done. You've experienced every setting, traveled to all corners of the settings menu. There's nothing you haven't seen. So, just for you, in the Stanley Parable 2, I'm including an entirely new setting, something called bumpscosity. What exactly is bumpscosity? Well, I haven't quite figured that part out yet, but I just know that you'll be able to adjust it on some sort of slider, and that it'll be available from the settings menu. We'll sort the rest of the details out later. I hope you're looking forward to trying out every level of bumpscosity in the Stanley Parable 2.
It's a huge joke, but I'm having a pretty solid time. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go do something. Hello? Alright, I'm back. I went and I grabbed a bootleg Cliff Bar. I'm kind of hungry. I haven't really eaten today. If you're more of a prequel sort of guy, check out the Stanley Parable. So here we are. Stanley Parable. We're still checking out Stanley Parable 2. Alright, let's see. Is there anything I haven't experienced yet? I did jump circle. I did the map, free achievement. I did the gym button. I saw a little bit of merch. I got the bucket. Office decoration, epilogue, collectibles, infinite hole, exit. Yeah, there's not really anything else left. Guess I'm just gonna go to the exit then, huh? Do I get to keep the bucket with me? It
All right.
clanks.
Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
That's Stanley. I thought there was a down exit too, though. Let me go see. Damn, this could be a choice. I might have to go through this a second time. Which is not a bad thing. But it just is kind of a long section. Without being able to save whenever I want. That could be a little bit of a bit, you know? Merch. Like the big two. This t-shirt is my best feature, and then the two sides. I don't know what that says. They're back 2 doors. So strange. Is it? Yo, it's Stanley. Alright, let's take the bucket to the achievement. It's a very strange area. Shame I couldn't get that test achievement. Alright, let's go to the exit. I did the jump circle, I did the infinite hole. Not quite sure what all these things are. 427.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh my gosh. He's...
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
epilogue.
Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they wouldn't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
I like that there's QR codes. That's nice. That was cool. I'm gonna be honest. That was pretty cool. I'm gonna take it back to my bootleg click bar.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
Is this how the game is gonna stay forever now?
Frozen
I don't think
solid,
so, right?
Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley picked up the bucket.
I got the bucket! What? Cool. That would be the new content room.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so torn. I'm going to take the bucket to the broom closet.
Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
I like this. I like the bucket.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
It's not boarded up.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now.
I can't even if I wanted to.
This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I've never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now,
Yo!
no more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, "Ah, it's a bucket." There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Yeah.
I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Oh, I got the new broom closet ending. The broom closet ending is my favorite.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
What?
Found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
I love this. Does the game stay like this forever?
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
I like mini Stan.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
I love this.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
I hope I get to keep the bucket forever. Like I hope the game stays in a way that I get to take the bucket with me to all the endings, because this is awesome.
The elevator raced downward.
Oh, it still has the
plunging towards
stickers.
an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much to live for. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm rushing through it. I think I have no way of actually knowing.
Blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty. Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible
No!
presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, and go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms, not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room, but at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
What? What? No!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Well, there's the bucket.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind.
I'm taking a
The
bucket
was
with me.
wrong.
We're going to all the
Stanley
new
took the
bucket
door on his left
endings.
to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
This is new.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
A Figley's a little better, but they're still not good. This is new. Where the hell is this taking me?
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down.
What the fuck?
It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
What the fuck?
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer... The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
Damn it. Okay. Well, come with me.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's
Oh
ear.
gosh.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself, perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon
What?
their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm
No.
speechless. You've
No, I
demonstrated
lost the
some wisdom
bucket.
here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
No, I lost the bucket. Oh, this is the other office.
All of his
Oh,
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
alternate
memo.
office.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket, Stanley clutched the bucket
Cool, I
tightly
got
to
the
his
bucket.
chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
All right,
Or
let's go.
no?
Let's
Never
go see if I can
mind.
play
The
Minecraft
bucket
with
was
the
wrong.
bucket.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching. All of his co-workers were gone. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never... Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the
This
bucket
is
calling
so
to him,
weird.
telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
This is different.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my
I don't
goodness,
think that no
I think we
bucket
have to
sign
do
was
something
there
about
before.
it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the
No!
entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
No. A new ending. Interesting.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh, you bastard.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
If I had no, it'd be like, incorrect. This is, in fact, a bucket.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket? What? Are you tractor? It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought it was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Everything is a bucket.
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And
I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence.
Oh, am I gonna lose the
Yet
bucket
now?
now?
I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
No.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear?
The game's a bucket.
Was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either.
I'm not Stanley,
This is
but
wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue. But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
can I do Minecraft now with the bucket?
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone... The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Everything's a
But
bucket.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. A cargo lift. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact.
Alright.
He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What?
Okay. We just did that, so I'm gonna restart. It's still the Stanley Parable 2. The sequel is now paused. Oh, that's different. Okay.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the
Alright,
meeting room.
we're gonna go.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the
We're gonna go
place to
down
be.
the elevator,
And
see
here
where
it
that
was.
takes
Had
us.
the bucket turned out to be correct?
I guess I can't do the
No,
Minecraft
never
ending
mind. The bucket was
with the
wrong.
bucket. See
Stanley
if we
took
can
the door on his left
confusion
to go
ending with
back
the
to And so
bucket.
the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Uh-oh.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere.
The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do... Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Yeah, that's the music. Dun, da, da, dun, da, dun, da, dun, dun, da, da, dun.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
I don't want to give up the bucket. No, I feel
Don't you
like...
get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No! No, I don't want to do that!
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
What happened?
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent. Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of two
I
open
left the
this was
bucket.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
I
well.
need to see
Perhaps he
if
wanted
that
to stop by the
thing
employee
is
lounge
still there.
first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his
That
left.
it was okay was so scary.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't
Yeah,
fired years ago.
this is still here. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it quits for today's stream, I guess. I will try to continue it later, and if not later, then tomorrow. Holy crap. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all tomorrow or later today, I guess. See you next stream.